Let's talk about Brian Flores suing the NFL for racism. This video is brought to you by Beating Black and Blue. Beating Black and Blue, being a black cop in America under siege, my brand new book. It's not new now. It's been released since November. It's new to me. So if you're interested in it, text Tatum to 53445. Text Tatum to 53445. We'll send you a link where you can get the book. I will be, in the next month or so, I will be signing books and having them available on my store in the near future, because I know a lot of you guys wanted to sign book. It will be refurbished or replenished on my store, so stay tuned. Y'all know what to do with all the other stuff. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, I had to talk about this situation. I know it's old, but I want to give my take on it. I want to say what I want to say about Brian Flores. This is, let me just say this right off the top. Just listening to his accusations and thinking about the choice words that he made in 2022, this is a shame, and it makes black people look bad. You look like a crybaby because you didn't get the job, and you don't want to be qualified for the job. You want somebody to give you the job because you're black and you want inclusion. The problem is that you want inclusion in coaching, but you don't want inclusion on the football field, because there's no affirmative action on the football field. If you're good enough to play, you will play. And most of these black players are better than the white players. That's why it's mostly black players on the football team. I'm just keeping it 100. Maybe, just maybe, the people coaching are just as qualified as the players. And so the best coaches will play or coach. All right, let's go down the list and see what he said. He sounds like a complete moron, and it sounds like he's snitchy McSnitchy, and it has nothing to do with race. Let's go to this. So he did a 58-page lawsuit, right? He was the head coach of the Dolphins. He got fired, right? But he claimed that the Dolphins owner encouraged him that he would give him $100,000 every game they lost during the season. Then he said the general manager, Chris Greer, came to him and said that Ross, the owner, was mad of his on-field success because it compromised his draft position. This is allegedly. Now let's digest this just for a minute. Does that sound like it has anything to do with race? Or does it sound like that the owner is crooked and he's trying to be a man of integrity? What does this have to do with race? Then he goes down and says in 2019, right? In 2019, that he was pressured into recruiting a prominent quarterback in 2019, which would be a violation of the NFL rules. He claimed that the owner got him on a yacht and then said conveniently that quarterback would be in a meeting there, in a impromptu meeting. He refused the meeting and left the yacht. Now, if the owner is propositioning you to do illegal stuff because that's what the owner wants to do and you refuse, to me, that sounds like you're a man of integrity. It sounds like the owner isn't a man of integrity. What does race have to do with this? What does race have to do with this? And the prominent quarterback probably was black. But what does race have to do with this? All right. He claimed that he got fired despite him having 2 winning seasons, 10-6 and 9-8. But you didn't go to the playoffs. Why is Mike Tomlin still the head coach since the 2000s, early 2000s, for the Steelers? Why? Because he's winning. Because he's winning. They go to playoffs. They go to Super Bowls. They are winning. The head coach ain't worried about your color. He worried about winning. He ain't worried about the color of the players on the team. He worried about winning. Because when he win, his money go up. Just like these players. When they win, their money go up. When they get their catches and their incentive pay, their money go up. Some of them probably don't really care about winning that much if it ain't consequential to them going to the Super Bowl. They lose a little game during the season, they get their incentive bonus pay, they fine. They can live to another game. The owner is looking at this like equity. It's like looking at the stock market. Your team is like your stock. They don't have time to worry about your race, I would argue. They want to win because when they win, their franchise is worth more money. And when their franchise is worth hundreds of millions of dollars more than it was when they purchased it, they win. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your health. They don't care about your injuries. By and large, they want to win games. But Mr. Woke got to come in there and complain. So Flores now talk about his interview process with some of these teams. And there's an NFL rule called the Rooney Rule. I guess it's called a Rooney Rule. And that's that, and this is racial discrimination against white people, if you ask me, that these teams have to, which are required teams to interview minority candidates for opening positions. They have to. Even if the minority candidate is no good, suckiest coach on planet Earth, they still have to interview him because he's black. If that's not prejudice, I don't know what that is. You should be suing for the wrong thing. You should be suing the NFL for being racist for you instead of against you. And then he goes on and he talks about some of his interviews, saying that they showed up late. Like he talked about some people showing up late, and this was Bill Belichick had accidentally texted him that you're the guy for the job, I think at Buffalo or New York Giants or whatever the case may be, and he accidentally texted him that he was the man for the job, and he actually meant somebody else. So Flores get mad because he didn't get the job, right? And he's talking about Bill Belichick's mess ups, just snitching on people. What was the other one? He talked about John Elway and them arrived at his meeting drunk and didn't do a proper interview with him because he's black. That's what he says. Now, the teams deny this. All of the teams that he described vehemently deny everything he's saying. Look, they even use the word vehemently. The Dolphins vehemently denied the allegations against them. They denied. The Broncos denied. They detailed that the meeting that he talking about is a lie. They started promptly at 7:30. The interview lasted 3.5 hours. They have pages of detailed notes describing what they spoke about with Flores. So who do you think is telling a lie? Denver. All these teams are coming out against him. Now, I want y'all to see his demands, and then I'm going to give you a few thoughts, and then we're going to be done with the video. Let me show you his demands. This is why black people have a hard time being respected in America. They have a hard time being respected. I'm black, and I don't respect none of these dudes that's doing this. I don't respect them. You have Colin Kaepernick. Then you got this coach coming out crying about racism. And what is his demands, ladies and gentlemen, of the NFL? To increase influence of black individuals in hiring. What? I think it says increase the objectivity of hiring and termination of GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. Increase the number of black coordinators. Not if you're qualified, but you just need to put more black coordinators in the NFL because they black. It doesn't say nothing about equal qualification. It's because they black. Let's see. It said incentivize hiring, retention of black GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. Transparency of pay for GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. What does race got to do with you? Them telling what they paying their GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. It gets ridiculous, and he just continues to go on with the saga of ridiculousness. And he's been interviews with Houston and New Orleans for the open position. He had opportunities, but he want to back away from these opportunities to file a class action lawsuit. This is the same thing Colin Kaepernick did. Colin Kaepernick set the bench because he wasn't good enough. Flores didn't get the job he wanted because he wasn't good enough. And the team that didn't hire him said, we hired the best qualified person. And he was one of our guys to the 11th hour, and we picked a guy that we thought was the best for our program. But he didn't like that. Colin Kaepernick was sitting the bench. He didn't like that. Colin Kaepernick want to kneel and make a stink in the NFL. And then when they let him go or not hire him, then now he want to make a stink. Colin Kaepernick lied. He had opportunities. He rejected the opportunities. He had opportunities with other teams, even when he forgoed his contract with the 49ers. People don't know that. He walked away from his contract. They didn't let him go. They didn't fire him. He walked out of his contract. He opted out of his contract with the 49ers. He had other job opportunities. He forgoed those because he didn't think they were paying him enough. So then he quits the NFL and say the NFL is blackballing him. Then y'all seen him. He came back with another opportunity. What does he do? He played trickery. They got the scouts over there. He over here. Well, I want this demand. bro, you ain't good enough to be doing that. And every NFL person that's genuine know that Colin Kaepernick wasn't good enough to pull the cards that he was pulling. Because if it was about protest and taking a knee, players continued to take a knee when Colin Kaepernick wasn't even in the NFL, and none of them were discriminated against. None of them. Colin Kaepernick's not good enough. Look at your boy Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is the biggest distraction that I've seen in modern football history. And he's still playing. They still picked him up. He still went to the Bucs after quitting on 2 teams and being a problem on the team, cussing his baby mama out. He all over the news, making music videos, doing all kind of crazy stuff. They still put him on the Bucs and he won a Super Bowl. He would have still been on the Bucs if he hadn't done the shenanigans that he did. He might actually get picked up by another team. Michael Vick went to prison and got out and played in the NFL. It ain't about that. It's about talent. It's about abilities. Can you win the game or can you not? And Flores is doing the exact same thing. Flores didn't get the job that he wanted. Now his butt is hurt. Now he don't go on to do the interview with Houston. He don't go on to do the interview with New Orleans. He don't do that. He back away. Because if he would have gotten the job, think about this for a minute. I should have said this at the beginning of the video. If he would have got the job, would he have made the complaint? If they'd have hired him from the Dolphins, would he have made this complaint? Oh, they only racist when you don't get what you want. But when they were moving you up the ladder and you were the coach of the Dolphins for 2 years after the owner was doing shady deals, and then you applied for another job. You after the Dolphins fired you, you didn't say, oh, the NFL is racist. You waited till after you didn't get the job you wanted and say, oh, the NFL is racist, everybody racist, we want inclusion. This is why black people don't get taken seriously in a situation like this. I already made a video about how Black Lives Matter is a fraud, and then you got black coaches who are complaining all the time. Stop complaining and produce. Stop complaining and produce. If you are producing, then there's nothing that anybody can say to you. It's the same thing that black athletes did a long time ago. They were producing. And so what? They let the first Negro play in the NFL. And once the first Negro played in the NFL, first Negro ran track, first Negro played baseball, then the floodgates opened up. Because if you can perform, you will be on the team. They're going to pay you. If you can't perform, you won't be on the team. Think about this. Look at all the black players that make it to the NFL. Look at all the black players that don't make it to the NFL. Oh, is it racist? Because they don't pick these players? No. They pick the best qualified players, and they so happen to be black. Same thing with coaches. Ain't no general manager. And I'm not even if you're racist, even if you're a racist general manager, if they are really racist, then why do they have black players on their team? They paying millions of dollars to if they're really racist. These men ain't racist, man. Even if they are racist, they want to make money. So they may not like you, but if you can make them money, you the one. Tony Dungy, Herm Edwards, all these other black coaches in the NFL, you can cry all you want about the owners are racist, but if you performing, they gonna pay you millions of dollars and don't like you. And to me, that's fine with me. I don't care what you think on the inside of your body. I don't care what you think in your heart. You can not like black people all you want. I don't care. The question is, will you treat me properly? As long as you treat me fairly, I don't care what you think about me. As long as you're willing to pay me for performing, I don't care if you like me or not. It's just like on my job. I ain't never in my life thought, did the white people like me? I mean, bro, as long as you ain't disrespecting me, I don't care what you think about me inside of your heart. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I can't change your heart. But you're gonna treat me fairly. You know, you're gonna treat me like a man. You ain't gonna play me, you ain't gonna disrespect me, none of that stuff. So anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. I love you guys, appreciate you guys. I just had to say something about that because I'm sick of the victimhood that these black men be portraying. Anyway, love you guys. Talk to you on the next one. I'm out.